So Ben Shapiro has lost his mind. He went from destroying 19-year-old woke college students to losing his mind and acting exactly like those 19-year-old woke college students, giving emotional arguments and freaking out all over the place. It's quite disgraceful, which is what he tried to call Candace Owens. He tried to call her disgusting and disgraceful, and he just took a hearty fall. This is one argument he cannot get up from. This is one argument he might lose. So first he started by going on a lecture, and when asked about Candace Owens, said that her thoughts on this were very disgraceful. Oh, what were her thoughts on this? Her thoughts on this were simply to say that, I don't know, no country, maybe they shouldn't do genocide. Yeah, maybe Israel doesn't have the right to, I don't know, kill innocents. And terrorism bad, but also kill innocents bad. That's what she said, basically. And then he called it disgraceful and disgusting that the whole population of Gaza shouldn't be bombed to oblivion. Yeah, disgraceful. That's disgraceful. And then they clapped back when Tucker Carlson had her on and asked to explain the subject, because everybody was wondering what was going on, because he was outbursting everywhere and she was trying to keep calm. And this is what they said.
What is that about?
You know, there isn't much of a background. I saw the video when everybody else saw it when I woke up. I can't respond to it beyond what he's saying because it's just ad hominem attacks. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's not, we disagree, or yeah. I don't think she's correct, or maybe she doesn't know what she's talking about. It's absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah, exactly. And so I can't respond to it on a level of intellect because there's nothing that he has expressed in that, at least in that short clip, that he fundamentally disagrees with in terms of what I said. But I will say that I'm not going to respond with the same ad hominem attacks. Yes. I don't think it helps further discussion. And if that was me that was caught on a video saying that about colleagues that I work with, I would be embarrassed. So I think that the video speaks more to Ben's character than it speaks to mine.
Has he texted you to apologize or explain or anything?
No, nothing. I haven't heard a single word.
Yeah, so basically, he's just been attacking her because he has an very emotional response to this. I get it, you're a Jew, I get it. But this is disgusting. Why would you think people deserve to die for this? Like, that's weird. That's just weird. Why do you think this? It makes no sense. And you're just being emotional and you're dragging on. This is the very thing that people do when you destroy them. So now you're getting destroyed and you're doing the same thing. It's funny. The loop goes back together. And then after she spoke out, she made some tweets after he also spoke out. Basically, she quoted scripture saying you cannot serve God and money. She quoted a scripture, literally. This wasn't even directed at Ben. He just took it that way because he's projecting onto her, because he knows deep inside that he is serving the money, that he is serving something other than God, and that using scripture to justify his terrible takes and his saying that people deserve to die for other people dying, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, even though we're in the new covenant, which is retarded. And these people didn't even take your eye. If you're talking about that, if you're trying to use scripture to justify it, they didn't even take your eye, okay? They didn't take your eye. The other people took your eye, and you're taking it out on people who did not take your eye and taking their tooth. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. And then he basically said, if you think making money from the Daily Wire is in front of your relationship with God and being a Christian, then you can leave. And then this incredibly emotional response, and him just being like a whack job, gave the proper response. You've been unprofessional and unhinged for weeks now. We have all had to sit back and allow it, and have all tried to exercise exceeding understandings for your raw emotion. But you cross a certain line when you come for scripture and read yourself into it. I will not tolerate it. Yeah, like, if you get mad and try to use scripture like a psychopath, like a lot of murderous psychopaths have tried to use scripture, like Bin Laden tried to say that he's gonna get the West out of here and that he's gonna restore divinity and bring God back to the West, like he thought he was his prophet. If you're going to use that, you are deranged, you're a psychopath, and you're just a false prophet, because it says do not add to the word. He's acting just as the Pharisees. One of the reasons Jesus came to die for us, because he went to take away the corrupt order of the Pharisees, where they were adding on the laws, they were doing things they shouldn't have done, and they were using it to sin, like a lot of popes also have, which is why I don't believe in Catholicism. But a lot of people have been saying, yeah, this makes sense, because despite destroying a lot of people, he also has the worst takes of all time when it comes to current and ongoing future events. And basically, if Ben Shapiro thinks something, then you should just assume the opposite. Like how he said, I don't like Trump. He's a terrible man. He's an idiot. And then Trump became one of the biggest leaders of the right. And then he said, destabilize Syria. Like, stupid. Compelled for vaccination. He went for this vaccination that I'm not going to talk about. Okay, I've already had my first strikes for that. But let's just say we hold a different opinion around here. And let's just say it hasn't... never mind. Follow me on Rumble. Ukraine, especially, he believed in Ukraine, and Ukraine has been used to suppress Christians, and actually been used to hurt Christians, and ankle monitor them, and ban them, and so many things he gets wrong, because simply, it's just stupid. Like, he does not know, actually, the current and future events. So if you believe something to be true, we should eradicate all Palestinians just because they attacked one person and it wasn't even them, it was the terrorist, then you should definitely go against that, because that is the most idiotic claim I've heard ever. And he just, basically, all he's doing is attacking Candace and being an emotional and latching on arguments. And then we have something completely different, okay? He started beef with Tucker Carlson, of all people. This is your demise, my friend. You started beef with the Tucker Carlson. Basically, his beef is saying and getting mad that Tucker and Vivek said, basically, maybe we should care about America more than Jews. And what is he even talking about?
Again, I want to add my voice to that because I'm a human being. But
oh, sure you do.
You
sound very outraged. What is he even talking about? What he's attempting to do is minimize what happened in Israel. He's not attempting to maximize what happened in the United States. He's attempting to minimize. I just don't understand why he's not on my side when it comes to Hamas has to be wiped off the face of the earth.
And he just raves on and on without giving any actual points. I'll give you some points. Maybe we should trust Americans and help Americans more, because they are the country that we're supposed to protect, and that the country that the president and everybody who protects us, the army, everything, takes oaths for. Maybe that's why, because they have, by law, to serve us, not Israel. We are not Israel. Israel can serve themselves. Israel has enough nuclear power to wipe out all of Palestine, so they do not need our help, funding, or money. It's a complete and utter idiocracy that we even need this, and he's just trying to beef with Tucker and say, nah, you're bad for not supporting Israel without giving any real points, and I'm sick of it. Like, I'm sick of his emotional responses. I'm sick of him saying the Gazans deserve to die just because some innocents die. Yeah, they're innocent too. Yeah, we don't need a war. Yeah, innocents don't deserve to die. That is just as bad as Jews dying. Unless you think yourself superior than them, then you got a real problem. Because that's just messed up. Like, what are you on right now? You're just being emotional, acting like a deranged leftist. The people that you call deranged, you're acting like right now. And it's so funny to see. It's bad to see. Really bad to see. Because he's not acting logical and he's just flipping out. But it's the truth. And the truth is, Ben Shapiro needs some help, because he is actually losing his mind. He's become a deranged psychopath that tries to use scripture and add on to it to justify hurting innocent civilians because innocent civilians got hurt. Like, it does not correlate. It makes no sense, and he's just going after Candace Owens and a bunch of people that utterly destroy him, and they utterly blow him out of the waters because he does not know what he's talking about, because he's making emotional arguments and they have real cloud logic, and it just does not correlate. Like, can you help me piece this together, Mr. Shapiro? It does not work. Like, you're just speaking nonsense at this point.